What's up, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to do something a little bit different. You guys know I don't tend to do action figures very often, if at all. But you guys also know I am a big Halo fan, especially older Halo. But this is not from that Halo, this is from Halo 5, if I am correct. And yeah, it's Master Chief. It's pretty awesome. I do believe it is from Mattel, judging by the logo right there, but we got Microsoft 343 Industries right there, and then, all the warnings and crap on the bottom. But from the front, you get the Halo logo across here, ages 8 plus. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And then you've got Master Chief right here, and all kinds of random bits of armor and bits and stuff and things, and an awesome sword. Want that. That's a massive selling point, not gonna lie. I picked this up at a Walgreens, which, I kind of forgot they carried this line. Now, what really sucks, it generally runs about $20, which personally I find to be a bit hefty, but it's in that same kind of price range with the DC collectibles and the Marvel Legends characters. So yeah. So it's in that same kind of vein. Nice little, I guess, 6-inch figure here. Now, this is also a Build-A-Figure, which honestly doesn't do me any good because I'm not going to be able to get the rest of these in this line because this line is essentially pretty much gone. But you can do an Alpha Crawler from Halo 5. However, one thing I've discovered by looking at the back, each one, each one of them comes with a different colored thing. It's like they tried to match up the color to whoever it came with, because you've got all these different figures in the lines. You got Master Chief, you've got Spartan Locke. I don't know if that's a very specific one or if it's just a random one. You've got another guy here, and you've got, I don't know, I think that's Fred, I'm not sure, and then another Elite right there. Now, they did have Spartan Locke. Maybe down the line I'll go back and get that. I don't know just yet. I did find these on clearance at a different Walgreens. However, they did not have Chief. All they had was Fred. And while Fred is cool, he's not Chief. So you get an image of him all stripped down here. You have all of his armor and weapons right there, and then him right there all decked out. Although looking somewhat Lego-like, it's a little weird. But 30 points of articulation. Sweet. Movable armor fits all Spartan figures. So if you have any of these Spartans here, all the armor is swappable. So that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit cool. But like I said, oh, hello. Oh, okay, so these are Series 1 figures, and that's how you get all that to make the Alpha Crawler. And you got 0 to 3 children get very, very sad. And then service.mattel.com if you have any questions or problems. So let's go ahead and get this open and see how awesome Master Chief is. So here we have Master Chief looking kind of like a naked Ninja Turtle, really. So here's Chief stripped of all of his Mjolnir armor, and it's all, of course, spread out like this. He does come with a few accessories in the package, like we talked about. First and foremost, the Build-A-Figure chunk. So this would be, if I had to guess, the main, I don't know, the main butt. Chest? I have no idea. It's a big chunk of thing. Honestly, I don't care. If I ever get the rest of these figures, which I highly doubt unless I grab them out of a collection or something, I don't see me ever using this for anything. Although it's a neat little bit. You got some coppery paint, some white paint, and over this, black plastic. Though this is very sloppily applied, not gonna lie. So, don't really care. It is what it is. You do also get some spare pegs for something. I don't even know. Maybe these are for attaching weapons, if I had to guess. Yeah, because you've got a peg hole right here. So that one of those is gonna be for the rifle, and he can also, it doesn't come with it, but you can use a magnum pistol as well. So I thought these were wrist pegs at first, but they don't have ball joints, so these are just for weapons. So odds are that one of those is going to go in the rifle. So set that aside. Go ahead and take a look at the rifle since we're here. And it is a standard, actually it's an assault rifle. I was going to say it's a battle rifle, but it's not. It's an assault rifle. I like the mix of colors. So you've got the gunmetal, you've got the green, you've got the grayish color, and then this white stripe coming down there. The paint is, well, it ain't perfect, not gonna lie. You know, for a $20 figure, I would think they could get crisper lines, stuff like that. Now, one thing about this entire figure, while the paint is just meh, it doesn't even have a ton of other detail. So what I kind of want to do, because you guys know me, he might actually get some weathering and some other detail on it, because it's Master Chief. He ain't brand new. He's been around the block a while. But so far, the gun is actually pretty good, and I do believe he can hold it in his hand here. He doesn't come with a specific, like, gun hand, so it's just going to be him holding the rifle in general. Actually, the trigger finger does totally work here. Did not expect it. So the hand is a soft little rubber, so it can actually hold the gun. That's pretty good. I didn't expect it. So come on, Chief, hold your rifle. Go fight the Covenant, half naked. That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead and put the rifle off to the side. Come on, Nick, go. Thank you. Set him back here. He does also come with this amazing thing here. So you do actually get the plasma sword, one of my favorite weapons from Halo ever. I don't know if I ever mentioned it to you guys, but we used to play a game called Hack and Slash. It was just, no, Hack and Splat. Sorry, Hack and Splat. So it was literally just sword and shotguns running around at high speed with shield leeching. Very fun game. So you had to choose if you were going to slash or if you were going to shoot. Either way, a lot of fun. I like the detail here. You got some nice translucent blue, although it would have been cool if they gave it a little bit of swirly purple to go through it, because it is not just straight energy. So who knows? I might take some metallic paints and just detail it up a little bit. Although the handle is very nice. I like that gunmetal-y color with the light blue there, as you normally see with the Covenant tech. And it does actually have the beam blades joined here and here for stability's sake, though you could always trim it out if you really want to make it slightly more accurate, but that's to each their own. Now, of course, with this specific weapon, he does actually have a specific hand, so you get it here very nicely done in a split finger configuration. So he's trying to make somebody live long and prosper at the end of a sword. He does actually have a wrist peg in here, though it's a little stiff, little off cut, but it's not terrible. The hand is, like I said, it's a slightly softish rubber. You get the green paint over the gray there on the thumb, the trigger finger, and then the knuckles and stuff like that. He does just hold it as such, though I think it would have been better if they gave him a peg. So, you know, make it really stick in the hand, because you have a big peg hole there so that you can actually peg it into something. Though I don't believe the blades come out. No. Though that would have been cool. Have a deactivated version that he can just hold on his side. Let's see. The hand doesn't really want to wrap around it. That's about as good as it's going to get, I think. You know, get a good wrist movement here. Maybe go this way. Yeah, you never know. Maybe it's for a specific position. Okay, so that's probably as good as it's going to get. Like so. And you can hold that too. Come to the hand. You want to grab the hand and you want to grab the wrist, and you just pull until a terrible sound happens. Like that. And just hit the camera. And you just take a big old ball joint right there and cram it right up inside the wrist hole. So you can actually have Chief holding the sword like such. It's a little weird, not gonna lie. A little awkward. Although that might warrant just some glue for that specific hand. I have a feeling that Elite comes with the exact same sword, so it is what it is. He can't hold it, really. Let's just be honest here. He can't really hold it that well. Oh, now he wants to. Yeah. Sorry, you're all dead. Okay, so take that off. Now, let's go ahead and go over articulation here. He does have quite a lot. So with a head here, well, we can see it is a very nice. It's not the old school Spartan. It is the newer Mjolnir armor. Nice, decently painted goldish copper visor. Got the nice molded in detail in green. You've got the extra gray, kind of a metallic-y actual helmet, and then the gray and everything's painted on. There's your AI slot. Maybe that's the AI slot. Either way, very nice little head. Could use some crisper lines. That's the only thing I'm really going to say about most of the paint on this thing. It's not very crisp. Now, the body by itself, without the armor, is actually very decent. So, you know, nice molded detail. Some crappy edges, like right there. But let's talk the rest of articulation here. So, his head is on the ball joint, and then his neck, he can do it a minor turkey neck, but he can look down, he can look up, he can look sideways, he can get a slightly quizzical look. So, yay. Also need to paint the lights right there. That'd be fun. The torso actually does have an ab crunch right through here. So really, it's a back bend more than it is a crunch. Kind of nice. I do like the molded detail here on the armor. Though, they didn't paint these shoulders. They got everything else painted. You can see the difference in the paint and the knot. And even this green doesn't match this green. To the eye, it's a little bit better. The camera is showing it off significantly different. Oh, also, besides ab crunch, he does have rotation up here instead of having it down here in the hips where you think it would be. Once again, a lot of molded detail through the torso. It's actually very nice. Yeah. Alright, shoulders. We've got nice little swivel here, and then cut out for the arm so you can get it up to 90 degrees and rotate it. If you want to, you can come up, and then using some bicep rotation, you can get a really nice high teacher going on there, or high commander, whatever. And then, of course, bicep rotation. It's a little stiff because of the way these cutouts are, but it does rotate, and you get the color separation from inside to outside. Though, honestly, this probably didn't even need to be green. Now, I'm a little disappointed that these elbows are only single jointed and can only barely go 90 degrees, if at all. Now, this forearm is nowhere near as tough as the rest of the plastic. It's actually flexible because they needed the ball joints to be able to go into it fairly easy. Speaking of that, you do get rotation all the way around. You get some nice cut out there from that disc hinge. Very nice. And you can't go backwards, really, but your wrist doesn't tend to go back anyways. So, of course, you get the regular holding hand on this side. You get the split finger hand at the moment. Come down to the waist, to the hips. You got this nice red paint here that you're really not going to see very much. Green paint looks pretty good going down the side. You got some nice butt action going on there. You've got some nice leather chap action. But you got some T-mounted ball joints here, so he can almost go the full Jean-Claude. It's pretty good. Although it does limit how far forward you can go, so he can't kick very far. And he can't kick back at all because of this butt skirt. So if this was cut out a little bit, he could. You do get thigh rotation, but only this way because it catches as soon as you turn it this direction. Got a little bit of scrapage right there on the knee. Now the knees, I'm a little disappointed in because you have a clear 90-degree bend in that. This looks like it should be a knee joint, right? Am I the only one who sees that? But it does not move. Unless you are supposed to pull it down or something. I don't know. Yeah, it must just be that knee that's screwed up because this one works. But hey, the upper knee doesn't really want to work on that side. So this one works really well here. This one is really stiff. So I should be able to get that other knee to work. So you can get a little bit of bend out of it. You can kneel. Let's see here. Without forcing it too much. Let's just see if I can get that knee to move. It's really, really tweaking. There's a lot more friction there than I think there should be. Just like in this knee. So it's really not fit together all that well, realistically. But you got the nice molded detail going all the way down the legs. You even get 2016 Mattel right there imprinted on it. And you have holes where all the armor and stuff plugs in. That's pretty obvious. Now the ankles, you got a disc hinge right through here. You can go back that far, up that far, and then it's got, I guess, it can't be a full ball joint, but it's got something that allows you to rotate it all the way around. You almost have molded in toes, but these are more or less socks, like very hard socks. So that's pretty good. And you got holes in the bottom of the feet. So overall, the figure itself is actually not too bad. Some of that articulation is a little limited. That hand is a little bit wonky. Now, of course, the major gimmick of this is the armor. So let's go ahead and start applying the armor. We'll start with the feetsies, because we'll start at the bottom, work our way up. So you've got some nice molded in, almost like boots. Although I kind of wish they had went ahead and given it a solid bottom, but I guess for the sake of being able to put the stuff on and off, you couldn't really have it be solid. Now, I've taken it off. I haven't yet to try to put it back on. So you've got to get the foot down and through it. And there is definitely a left and a right. So you've got to get the foot to come all the way through, like so. And I apologize for any noise you guys might hear. That is the neighbors upstairs, as usual. Okay, so now I thought the armor was going to plug into the bottom of the foot. It does not. So I figured there was going to be a hole there. Now there might be an armor that does, but this one doesn't. I figure the interior, the main body of this is probably shared across all the Spartans, if I had to guess, because they all had updated Mjolnir armor in Halo 5, although Chief kept his looking very classic. Now the shins are a two-piece part, and you can see it's molded in a semi-metallic plastic, probably just a tiny bit of paint. So this is bare plastic, this is a little bit of paint, so you can barely see the difference. Though I do wish that was a little bit better. I do have some green paints, so I might be able to do a little bit of work to this guy. So, hole in leg, peg in armor. You just tab it on, and then this will come up and over, and we'll peg into the back of the calf, hopefully, like so. Just try to close up the seams as best you can. Probably not going to be perfect. Do the same thing on the other side. This time I'm going to go with the back of the leg first. It's slightly flexible, but there's almost just a little bit too much rigidity to some of these pieces. Although part of it, like the main chest armor, as we'll see, is in fact soft rubber, so it actually works out pretty good. Now we got the thigh armor, which I do believe goes on as such. You got a hole right there. Flip it around this way. I can't see the hole to line it up. Come on. It's there somewhere. Obviously, no, it's not lined up all the way. Am I too low? Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm way too low. It's gotta come up here. There it is. Okay. I'm trying to line up the cutout. There we go. That's much better. Like I said, I've taken the armor off. I have not put the armor on yet. So this is a first go, as you would say. And yeah, these are made to be left and right as before. Come on, Chief. Get your armor to cooperate. Come on. It's stuck on something. This is one reason why I don't mess with action figures too often. Not super good. Hold on. I'm close, it's resisting. Some of this extra flashing and crap that's hanging off the edges makes it a little difficult. There we go. You had to do a somersault to make it happen, but it got on there. Go ahead and do the, what I assume is a butt skirt. I can't figure out anywhere else for this to go. It just pegs in just like so. Yep, that's definitely a butt skirt. Now we got to put on the arm armor. Grab the hand, you got to pull the wrist out, and the forearm armor, which now that I look at it, I'm not sure which way it goes. Presumably there's a left and a right, but I can't tell. Once again, I took it off. So that looks right, only because it's on there. Cram the hand back on. In some ways it is like doing a Gundam, it really is. Pull the other hand off carefully. I know one of those is going to snap one day. I can feel it. And actually very much like the calf armor, there's a little bit of paint. So that's painted, that's not. You guys can see it on camera actually better than my eyes can. So that's actually pretty good. Now, one thing that armor does, stiffens up that arm just a little bit, making it a little bit harder to throw that on there. Butt skirt is probably going to be a problem. Stay on. Go ahead and throw on the shoulder armor, which I don't believe needs a left or a right. Just looking. So you got the tab there. You've got bicep right there. Now this one was not easy to get off, so I imagine it's not going to be easy to get on. Close. Really close, but I don't think it's going to go. So you know what? I think I have these on backwards because front to back, that doesn't look right. But I don't think there's a difference in the bicep armor. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on there because, yep, nope, actually, you know what? There's the R for the right one. So I was wrong. There is a left and right, and it was actually marked. I just couldn't see it. So let's pull that off. Okay, so that I have it on the right arm. I think I just have, no, that's on the right arm. It's got to be on that way. So I have it right. Just weird. You just have less articulation with the armor on. How dumb. Okay, so everything else lined up. Now the hard part, slapping on the chest armor. So you got to yank his head off, which is scary in its own right. So you can get to see his ball jointed head. You know what? This one is being ridiculous. So I'm going to shift it over and try to shove it on. Okay, so just like any old school figure, you just slap it on over him, pull the arms up. Now this is actually very much like an old school Ninja Turtles toy. I made the Ninja Turtle joke right at the beginning, but this is definitely what it's like. I'm actually trying to get everything tabbed in together. It's all soft rubber, so you want to get it all together and nice and lined up. And we'll slap his head back on, hopefully, if I stop dropping the dang thing. And there we have Master Chief all armored up. Now, of course, in all his armor, he actually does look very, very good. He looks very big and beefy, just like a Spartan should. You know, he's like a 7-foot something monster. And it shows. You know, you got the big, bulky chest armor right in here. The shoulder armor, I think, should be just a little bit higher, a little bit bigger. Forearm armor is actually hindering articulation, so I find that really strange. I mean, even pulled down, you're still catching the elbow. So that's a little disappointing. The wrist doesn't really get stopped by anything, so that's actually okay. The torso still does what it should because this is soft. He can actually still ab crunch. He can still look at you like he's going to kill you. You can just imagine him using that awesome voice to come at you. Let's see here. That's just cool. The sword is definitely the harder thing to hold, but he actually looks very good holding it. Now, with those pegs we saw earlier, if I can get him to actually stand, get the ankles, there we go, get the ankles to function. Now let's see here, I don't know which one it is, but we'll figure it out pretty quick, won't we? I already know I'm going to lose these, so let's figure it out real quick which one is the one I need. I do believe it's that one. Nope, it's going to be the longer one. Of course it is. Okay, so now we got the longer peg. It actually goes in there fairly easy. You can actually mount the gun on Chief's back, just like so. Hopefully, come on, there it goes. It didn't want to peg in. So just like in the game, you can totally carry the gun on his back, and that's awesome. That's a great look. Now, presumably, you have this little peg right here. Now, this would work for the gun. I am curious to see if it'll work for the sword. Although, like I said before, the sword blade, it kind of makes it awkward. And you can tell it's all molded in the same color plastic, but the handle is painted. So he can technically hold all his weapons like so. And if you want, you have him reaching back over his shoulder to get his gun. And that's an awesome, awesome pose. That's great. Let's see here. Okay, so after a whole bunch of finagling, I got him to hold the gun in the classic carrying and running pose. And realistically, like, those limited elbows, and made even more limited by the armor, really do hinder this figure. Yeah, I would definitely say if you find it on clearance, like, if he had been on clearance with the other ones I found at Walgreens, I would have got him there. I am kind of sad that I paid full price, considering, I mean, he's actually a very cool figure, but not with this limited articulation. I do think that I'm going to have to finagle that armor a little bit, maybe trim it down so that it's not interfering with the elbow as much, because you can see it even on this side. It's just quite... I mean, if you turn the whole armor sideways, turn the whole... maybe that'll help a little. Maybe that's how it was supposed to go in the first place, but he's running into some of the problems that, like, Sazabi does or Sinanju does. A whole lot of stuff gets in the way when he's trying to hold the gun. So you can tuck it a little bit, kind of like that, but once again, like, the armor is actually, it's hitting the armor right there, making it very difficult for him to actually grip the gun. And, after years of playing with gunplay at this point, no pun intended, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess maybe I had the forearms done a little bit wonky, but now they're about as right as they're going to get. But yeah, that extremely limited elbow joint does hurt it, so I might want to cut this out just a little bit, get a little bit more of that that elbow articulation. But he does look really good. I do need to get a shotgun for him, so I'm tempted to get some of the other figures just to get extra weapons, because different Spartans come with the different weapons. Let's see here. How will that actually go? So if it's on his back like so, he would reach back like that. See, the cool thing is you can leave the peg there. So that would be like that. So the classic reaching over the shoulder to get the gun. The feet are a little bit wonky, but I think that's coming down to the armor itself being a little weird. So I'm trying to get him in good balance poses. But I do like it. I'm going to see if I can get a good picture here. There we go. So that looks pretty cool. Come on. So really he's like grabbing it this way and then pulling it back over his shoulder. It's a very nice fig. I mean, I love Master Chief. I love Halo. I'm sad I haven't played in a really long time. Need to fire up the Xbox, I guess. Do some killing, as it were. Or as we used to call it, making death. It's like, we're not killing anybody. We're just making death. That is seriously... the armor really does get in the way when trying to put the gun in his hand. And the butt skirt continues to fall off. So that needs to be thickened up a little bit. So even using the wrist articulation it gets a little bit difficult for him to hold everything. So he can't reach across his body, like, really at all. So we gotta get a decent pose here. See, the classic relaxed and carry, like this, that's about as good as that's gonna get, and he's barely holding onto the gun. So that's probably gonna be the thumbnail right there. But I'll get a better shot. But that's going to be it for this review, guys. I know it wasn't really a quick one, but it really wasn't going to be. So if you like these Halo figures, I found them at Walgreens for sure. Probably Walmart, anywhere that sells Mattel figures, if I had to guess. Or you can probably grab them online. And anywhere from 20 bucks, or if you catch them on sale, which I should have bought this for about $7 if I could have done that, but the problems with the armor and the lack of details on stuff really does bug me, but I can definitely weather this guy and make him look pretty awesome. And if you guys want to see me do that, you know, I can do an update video later down the line. But as always, I want to thank my Patreon guys, you know, right here on the screen as usual. You guys are awesome. John, Andy, you're great guys. It's amazing. But that's it for this review, guys. I'll catch you next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.